Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl. I reside in Johannesburg, South Africa. And like all of you, I weigh and measure my 3 meals a day from the Cambridge GreySheet, which I've written down, committed to my sponsor. I don't eat in between or anything that I haven't committed, no matter what. And God and abstinence are the fundamental basics of my life today, and without which I shudder to think. Thank you for asking me to share, Layla, and thank you to everyone on this meeting that does service. I haven't been on meetings for so long. It's always, I've got to pray that I'm going to have electricity, and so there is tonight, so which means I'm meant to be here and I'm meant to be sharing. And welcome to all the day counters. You know, it's a miracle, this program. My abstinence date is the 1st of January 2020. And I'm just in awe of the recovery that I have today, the blessings. And, you know, that's my new mantra. I wrote it in the chat, and it's true. You know, I really feel blessed beyond measure. And it all started with weighing and measuring my food. I mean, who would have thought that just from weighing and measuring, you know, enjoying and repeating 3 times a day, that my life would transform, not only physically. I come from very big numbers. I'm maintaining my goal weight now, and I'm still getting used to me in my borrowed body. You know, it takes time to integrate your emotions, your mind, your body. Yeah, my skin's very extra large for me, and I don't mind, and I don't care. I'm well and healthy. I'm nourishing my body every day, and all I can say is that I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams, and so transformed that yeah, everyone says that they don't recognize me, but it's taken me a long while to recognize myself and to know myself and just redefine everything about oneself. You know, it's as if the world hasn't changed and you transforming, you like in this cocoon, and then you come out of it, and you know, it's about what can I offer. Before it was about what can I take. You know, it was always about looking for the next fix and what can I take. And now it's about what can I do. And it's humbled me to such a great degree. I've been going through so many no matter what's lately. You know, I mean, life happens, life on life's terms. I mean, on Saturday, I smashed my cell phone. Last week, I needed a new car battery. There was a water leak at this house. There's just one thing after the next. But the constant in my life are my 3 weighed and measured meals. So whatever else is going on, you know, that's all I do. I haven't prepared anything to say today. So it's just from my heart, whatever, you know, comes up. For the last 2 Thursdays, I mean, last Thursday, I was blessed to be with the only other South African GreySheeter. And we enjoyed a dinner out together, and then she stayed over at me, and we shared meals together, we shared talk together, and there's a different kind and level of genuineness, of just being real, just being who you are. You know, for so many years, I was falsely cheerful. I didn't know myself. I mean, my head and my body were totally separated. I just binged and restricted non-stop. That was my life. Always looking for the perfect diet, you know. That was starting on the first opportunity, the first of the month, the first Monday, the first of the year, which is so funny because my abstinence also began on the 1st of January this time. The difference this time is that although I had been waltzing around 12-step rooms for many years in OA and other 12-step programs, I was never brave enough to do a step 4. And in 2020, I did a step 4 for the first time ever. And it's transformed my life. You know, I often think, how can just working the steps make all this difference? But I have sponsees as well, and their lives have transformed as well, you know, and it's attributable from the constant weighing and measuring, and working the steps, working with other people, being part of a community. I'm not doing much service at the moment because the electricity is so unreliable here in South Africa. And it's also another miracle, you know, I don't let it get me down. You know, there are people frothing at the mouth and spitting like a cobra, you know, when there's no electricity. You know, we have to accept the things we cannot change. So I just work around it, you know, and try and make the most of what it is. I've been blessed today. I met an overseas GreySheeter for coffee this afternoon. And, you know, it's a miracle. We talk the same language. And it doesn't matter if you haven't spoken to this person in weeks, months, and years, which is what it had been. You know, you just pick up where you left off and carry on and get on so well. We know each other, you know, and it's just phenomenal. I always say that with the food addiction, it goes down to the core of you. You know, I always say, if you're an alcoholic, you can put away the alcohol. You don't need it to survive. If you're a drug addict, you don't need the drugs, but we've got to deal with food each and every day. We're dabbling with food. And so it's just a miracle to say that every morsel of food that passes our lips is weighed and measured. And because we weigh and measure our food, everything in my life is weighed and measured. You know, there are boundaries around my life. There's boundaries around everything. And before, I didn't know the meaning of the word. You know, I was just, I mean, I don't even know how I survived. I know that if I was still in the food, I would have been dead. If I hadn't died from obesity, I was morbidly obese. I've shed 100 kilograms, and it's just breathed into fresh air, you know, and we carry on. And I'm just grateful for my health today, because really, I mean, I've abused my body so badly for so many decades that really, you know, I had written in my Thanksgiving share on the 1st of January that, I mean, I think I've been abstinent for 6% of my life. And so the remaining 94% was just a mess, you know, and I never knew that. I always used to think if I've got a perfect body, I'll have a perfect life. And really, you know, yeah, now I've got a slender body, but I ain't got a perfect life. That's no maybe. There's great changes coming for me this year. I'm going to be changing where I reside, and you know, I'm packing up, and change is difficult and yet so manageable. You know, I smashed my cell phone on Saturday, got a new one, and I was saying to this GreySheeter that I met today that when I got this new cell phone, I just chose a different unlock pattern, just to unlock the phone. And the difficulty of actually remembering the changed pattern and the different code. And so, you know, if that's such a change, then we're subjected to so much change all of the time. But being abstinent gives us an opportunity and the very real hope that we can do this. You know, if you can remain abstinent one meal at a time, one day at a time, then we stand a chance. I know for me, this is the last house on the last block. There's nowhere else for me to go. I experimented for decades and binged my brains out and never knew, you know, that I had a physical allergy. I mean, to carbohydrate, sugar, flour, grain, wheat, and you know, kept dabbling in it and thinking, well, you know, I've got this lick now, I can have one of, you know. Yeah, so I know categorically today that, you know, one is too much and 1,000 is not enough. It is, I mean, for the amount that I ate, I should have weighed a ton. There is no doubt. It was just a good thing that I restricted in between the binging. Otherwise, I would have weighed a ton. And it's been so freeing. In December, I decided I was going to weave my hair and be a hippie. You know, like now I'm 63 years old, going on 25. And yeah, it's wasted years, and yet since I've turned over a new leaf, you know what? You don't regret the past because it's all taught me something. It's taught me resilience now in abstinence, you know, that I really, really know there's nowhere else for me to be. So whether I'm on meetings and whether I'm not on meetings, I'm abstinent here, lonely in South Africa. In the dark. I have been overseas in the last year. I've had many, many, many huge no matter what. I've also become so humble. Before everyone knew my life story, I used to spill on everybody and just lean on everybody and tell them all my troubles and stories. And now I'm able to just retain it, you know, and be humble. And it's amazing when you do that, your cup runneth over in so many other ways, you know. Yeah, I haven't been really good at reaching out lately. I've had too many other things on my plate, but it's not an excuse, because the other day I reached out to someone who I thought was someone I knew in GreySheet, because she's got the same name as the person I thought I was reaching out to, but it wasn't that person. And we ended up having a half an hour talk, you know. And I'm making a commitment to outreach every day. So, because it's important to stay in the middle of the herd, you know, it's important, it's giving service and receiving. I've had the same food sponsor since day one. I remember her sending me an Old Year's Eve message on the 31st of December 2009. Thank you. 2019, and saying, am I going to hear from you tomorrow? And here I am. So thank you for letting me share. It's a real honor. I'm never on meetings, and now I'm sharing. So keep coming back. This program works if you work it, and we don't eat no matter what.